Like, subscribe, and activate the alarm. Outlaws of the Marsh, Chapter 11. Jugwei shoots a signal arrow from the lakeside pavilion. Lin Chong climbs Mount Liangshan in the snowy night. The night Pather head Lin Chong fell drunk in the snow and was unable to rise. The vassals bound him with ropes and brought him to a manor. Another vassal came out and said,
"Our lord is still asleep. Let's hang him up below the entry tower."
At dawn, Lin awakened, quite sober. He looked around him. It certainly was a large manor.
"Who had dared to suspend me here?"
He shouted. Vassals grabbed sticks and came out to the gatehouse.
"You've got the nerve to complain!"
The old vassal, whose whiskers had been signed, said,
"Don't bother talking to him! Just rub him! We can question him when our lord gets up!"
Swarming around Lin Chong, the vassals flailed him with their sticks. He couldn't escape.
"Beat away!"
He cried.
"I'll make you regret this!"
Another vassal approached and said, "The Lord is coming!" Lin hazily saw an official-looking man, hands clasped behind his back, emerge from a building and descend from the porch.
"Who are you beating here?"
The man called.
"We caught this rice thief last night!"
The vassals replied. The man walked over and recognized Lin Chong.
"Huh!"
Quickly ordered the vassals to desist and untied Lin's bonds.
"What are you doing tied up here? Arms instructor?"
He asked. On hearing this, the vassals all withdrew. Standing before Lin Chong was none other than Chai Jin.
"Save me, Excellency!"
Lin beseeched.
"Why have these villagers been humiliating you?" "It's a long story."
The two went inside and sat down. Lin recounted his adventure in detail, starting with the burning of the fodder depot.
"What a bad luck you've had, brother,"
said Chai Jin.
"but our meeting today is heaven sent. Stay a while, then we'll decide what to do."
He ordered a vassal to bring fresh clothes and, when Lin had changed completely, invited him into a heated room and wined and dined him. Lin remained in the eastern manor for another 6 or 7 days. Of that, we'll say no more. Let us speak rather of Changzhou, where the warden of the garrison prison presented an accusation against Lin Chong for the murder of the head keeper, Captain Lu Qian, and Fu An, and for burning down the army fodder depot. The prefect was astonished. He immediately issued an order for Lin Chong's arrest and sent police to post pictures of him in every village and town, inn and shop, plus notices offering 3,000 strings of cash for his apprehension. The hotness of the pursuit caused a stir among the local people. Lin, in the eastern manor, was on pins and needles when he heard about it. He said to Chai Jin,
"You better not keep me here, Excellency. They are making a house-to-house search. If they find me in the manor, you'll be implicated, and that's no good. Let me impose on your chivalry and generosity and borrow a little traveling money. I'll find another refuge. If I live, I'll repay you with my complete devotion."
"Since you insist on leaving, brother, I have a place to suggest. I'll give you a letter of introduction. How will that be?"
"That's kind of you. Where is this place?"
"It's called Liangshan Marsh in Jizhou Prefecture, Shandong Province. The area is about 800 li in the circumference and included the Water Grit Fortress and Lao Lowlands. 3 bold men have set up a stronghold there. The first is Wang Lun, the white-clad scholar. The second is skyscraper Du Qian. The third is Song Wen, guardian of the clouds. They formed a band of 8 or 700 and rob and pillage. Many who have committed capital crimes find shelter among them. I'm on very good terms with the 3 leaders. We frequently exchange letters. Suppose I write an introduction recommending that you join them?"
"Fine, if that's what you think the best. I'm very grateful."
"The trouble is, Changzhou is plastered with notices for your arrest, and the 2 officers are checking travelers at the city gates, and that's the way you have to go."
Chai Jin lowered his head in thought. Then he looked up.
"I have an idea. We'll escort you."
"I'll never forget your kindness."
said Lin Chong. Chai-Jin sent a vassal ahead through the city gate with Lin's luggage. Then he gathered a troop of 20 or 30 horsemen, armed with bows and arrows, carrying falcons and accompanied by hunting dogs, and all galley set forth, with Lin Chong also mounted, in their midst. The army officers at the gate had been to Chai-Jin's manor before having been appointed to this post, and knew him well. When the band of hunters arrived, they rose from their seats atop the gate tower and called, "Out for sport, Excellency!" Chai-Jin politely dismounted.
What are you two doing here?
The prefect has posted notices for the arrest of the criminal Lin Chong. We've been ordered to question every traveler who passes through this gate.
I have Lin Chong right here in my troop.
Chai-Jin said with a laugh.
Don't you recognize him?
The army officers chuckled. Your Excellency is very familiar with the law. You never willingly slip him out. Please mount.
You trust me that much?
Chai-Jin smiled.
If we get any game, I'll present you some on the way back.
He bid the officers farewell, got on his horseback, and the troop trotted through the gate. They rode about 15 li where the vassal was waiting. Chai-Jin told Lin Chong to dismount, remove his hunter grab, and put on his own clothes, which the vassal had brought. Lin tied his sword to his waist, put on his red tasseled felt hat, shouldered his pack, took his halberd in hand, bid Chai-Jin a respectful farewell, and marched off down the road. Chai-Jin and his men mounted their horses and went hunting. Not until evening did they finally come back through the gate. They gave the officers some game and returned to the manor. Of this we'll say no more. Lin Chong walked for 10 days. At dusk, heavy clouds gathered in the winter sky, and the wind began to blow. Thick snowflakes drifted down as far as the eye could see. Lin pressed on. It was turning very cold. Towards evening, he saw in the distance beside the lake a wine shop almost completely submerged in the snow. Lin hurried towards it, raised the reed curtain and entered. He beat the snow from his clothes and looked around. There were plenty of seats. He selected a place and sat down. He leaned his halberd against the wall, removed his pack, hung up his felt hat and sword. A waiter came over. "How much wine, sir?" "2 measures, for a start." The waiter drew 2 measures from the cask and placed the wine on the table.
Anything to go with the wine?
Lin asked. "We have raw and cooked beef, fat goose, and crisp fried chicken."
Cut me 2 caddies of cooked beef.
The waiter soon returned with a platter of beef, several vegetable dishes, and a large bowl into which he poured the wine. Lin finished 3 or 4 bowls. He noticed a man, walked to the door, and looked at the snow, his hands clasped behind his back.
Who is that fellow drinking?
The man asked the waiter. The man was wearing a warm hat with a long peak, a sable-lined jacket, and deerskin boots. Tall, stalwart, with cheekbones like fists, he was adorned with mustache and goatee. He continued watching the snow. Lin Chong summoned the waiter to pour more wine.
Have a bowl with me,
he suggested. The waiter did so.
How far is it from here to Liangshan Marsh?
Queried Lin.
Only a few li, but you must go by water. There's no way to get there by land. You have to take a boat. Find one for me, then.
Where would I find a boat in the snowstorm and at this time of night?
I'll pay you well. Find me a boat and ferry me across.
There isn't any place to ask.
A fine state of affairs.
Lin Chong thought to himself. He drank a few more bowls of wine.
Once I was an arms instructor in the capital.
He brooded.
I strolled and drank at will in every street and mart. Who would have thought that thief Gauchiu would have reduced me to this condition? The criminal mark on my face exiled here. I can't go home. No place is safe. How lonely I am.
He told the waiter to bring him brush pen and ink. Drunk and depressed, he wrote these lines on the whitewashed wall.
Chivalrous is Lin Chong, the loyalist of men. Renowned among the gallant, he'll lead heroes of the land. By tragedy set adrift, he suffered many setbacks, but he has his way. Mount Tai will bow before him.
Lin threw down the pen and drank. The man in the sable jacket walked up and grabbed him around the waist, exclaiming,
You got the nerve. In Zhangzhou, you committed a capital crime. And here you are. 3,000 cash are offering for your capture. What do you say to that?
Who do you think I am?
Aren't you Lin Chong?
My name is Zhang.
The man laughed. Rot. You wrote your name on the wall, and the golden print is on your face. You can't lie your way out of it.
Are you really planning to turn me in?
Again, the man laughed.
What for? Come, we'll talk in private.
He led Lin to a room in the rear, overlooking the water, and told the waiter to light the lamp, and sat down on the opposite side of the table.
I heard you're asking for a boat to go to Liangshan Marsh, brother,
said the man.
That's an outlaw's mountain stronghold. Why do you want to go there?
To be frank, the police are hot on my heels, and I have no place to hide. I've come to join the band on the mountain.
In that case, you need an introduction.
I have one from a friend in Hangai County, Zhangzhou Prefecture.
You mean the small whirlwind, Chai Jin?
How did you know?
He's on very good terms with the leaders of the mountain stronghold. They write to each other often.
The man explained that when Wang Lun was on the run, he and Du Qian had been given shelter by Chai Jin. They lived in his manor for some time, and he gave them silver for traveling expenses when they left. They were very grateful.
You are one of them, and I didn't know,
Lin exclaimed.
I had eyes and didn't recognize Mount Taishan. Please, tell me your name.
He bowed politely. The man returned the bow.
This humble person is the lookout for Chieftain Wang. I am called Zhu Gui. I come originally from Yushui County, from Yizhou Prefecture. Among the fraternity, I am known as the Dryland Crocodile. In the guise of running this wine shop, my job is to observe the movements of merchants and travelers. I let the stronghold know if they are carrying anything of value. When you asked about Liangshan Marsh, I thought I'd better find out more about you. Then you wrote your name on the wall. Then I remembered people from the capital telling of your gallantry. I never thought we'd meet here today. Since Lord Chai has written an introduction, Chieftain Wang is sure to welcome a man of your splendid reputation.
Zhu Gui feasted Lin with a meal of fish and meat, and wine and delicacies. They ate and drank in the waterside room, till half the night was gone.
How can I find a boat to ferry me across?
Lin Chong asked.
There are boats here, brother,
said Zhu Gui.
Don't worry about that. First, get some rest. Then, please, rise at the 5th watch and come here. I'll go with you.
Both men retired to their respective rooms. Zhu Gui woke Lin at the 5th watch. They washed and rinsed their mouths, downed 4 or 5 cups of wine, and ate some meat. The sky was still not yet light. Zhu Gui opened the window of the waterside room. He fitted a whistling arrow to a magpie-decorated bow and let fly towards a creek in a thicket of reeds on the other side of a cove.
Why have you done that?
Asked Lin.
That was a signal arrow from the mountain stronghold. A boat will come soon. Now.
Not long after, from the reeds opposite, a fast boat appeared, sculled by 3 or 4 men. It stopped beneath the waterside room. Lin collected his weapons and luggage, and Zhu Gui conducted him to the craft. The boatman propelled the vessel across the lake to the shore of the Golden Sands. There, Lin Chong and Zhu Gui disembarked. One of the men went with them and carried Lin's things. The other took the boat back to the creek. Zhu and Lin began climbing. Huge trees flanked the trail. Halfway up the mountain was a pavilion. A turn beyond that, and they saw a large fortified pass. Before it were racks of spears and swords and bows and lances. On all sides there were logs and boulders
for rolling down the hill against invaders. Brigands went on ahead to announce them. Then Lin and Ju entered the pass. They walked between two rows of pennants and battle insignia and crossed two arrow defiles before coming to the gate of the stronghold itself. On every side were high mountains with magnificent passes laying in between, together forming a powerful enclosure. In the center was a mirror smooth plain, about 4,000 feet in circumference. The main gate of the stronghold faced the pass. Other buildings stood in wings to left and right. Jugwei led Lin Chong to the Righteous Fraternity Hall. A bald fellow sat in an armchair in the middle. This was the white-clad scholar Wang Lun. The man in the armchair to his left was skyscraper Du Qian. In an armchair to his right sat Songwan, guardian of the clouds. The two travelers came forward and hailed the brigands respectfully, with Lin Chong standing by Jugwei's side. "This is Lin Chong, the Panther Head," said Jugwei, "arms instructor in the capital's mighty Imperial Guards. Because Marshal Gao decided to ruin him, he was marked as a criminal and exiled to Changzhou. There, the army fodder depot he was put in charge was burned down, and, in struggle, he killed 3 men. He took refuge with Lord Chai and formed respect for each other. His Excellency has written a letter of introduction for him to join our company." Lin Chong presented his letter. Wang Lun opened and read it, and asked Lin Chong to be seated in the 4th armchair and Jugwei in the 5th. He ordered a man to bring wine, and all drank 3 rounds. "Lord Chai is well, I hope?"
He hunts and relaxes in the outskirts of the town every day.
Wang Lun fell silent. "I'm a scholar who failed in the civil service examinations," he thought. "In a fury, I came here with Du Qian and turned bandit. Later, Song Wan joined us, and we formed this big company. I'm not particularly able, and Du Qian and Song Wan have only ordinary skill at arms. This fellow was an arms instructor in the Imperial Guards. He must be an excellent military man. If we accept him, and he sees what duds we are, he'll probably want to take over, and we won't be able to stop him. I'd better just be a little rude, make some excuses, and send him back down the mountain. That will avoid any trouble. It's not very courteous to Chai Jin, in view of all his kindness, but that can't be helped." He ordered more wine and food, and laid the feast for Lin Chong. Together, all ate and drank. When they had finished, on Wang Lun's instructions, one of the men brought a platter bearing 50 ounces of white silver and 2 bolts of fine silk, and placed them before Lin. Wang Lun rose. "Lord Chai has sent a letter recommending that you, arms instructor, join our humble band. But unfortunately, we have little grain, our buildings are in poor condition, our forces are small. It wouldn't be right if we impeded your career. We offer those paltry gifts in the hope that you won't scorn them. Forgive us, and seek a place in some big stronghold."
"Permit me reply, 3 chieftains,"
said Lin Chong.
"I have come from afar to place myself under your framed command. I seek, relying on the prestige of Lord Chai, to join your company. Though I have no talents, I hope you will accept me. I have no other desire than to pledge you my life. Nothing would make me happier. I want no silver or gifts. Please, understand me."
"Our place is small. How could we give you a suitable position? Please excuse us." Jugwei intervened.
"Forgive me for speaking up, elder brothers,"
he said.
"Although our stronghold is short of grain, we can obtain more from villages and towns near and far. There's plenty of wood in the mountain and by the streams, enough to build 1,000 new houses if need be. This man has brought an introduction from Lord Chai. How can we tell him to go? This stronghold owes Chai a great deal. It would be very embarrassing if he heard that we refused. What's more, Lin Chong is a man of much skills. He would be a big asset to us."
Du Qian agreed. "What does it matter if we add 1 more? He said. "Chai will be offended if we don't keep him. We owe him so much. How can we send away a man he introduced?" Song Wan also put a word to Wang Lun.
"For His Excellency's sake," For His Excellency's sake, we must let Ling Chong join as one of our stronghold leaders. Otherwise, the whole fraternity of gallant men will despise us for the lack of chivalry.
But don't you realize, brothers, Wang Lun argued, although he's committed a capital crime in Changzhou, we don't know much about him. What if he's come to spy on us?
I want to join you because I'm a condemned man,
Said Lin.
Why should you suspect me?
Very well, then, said Wang Lun. Since you really wish to become one of us, you'll have to present membership certificate.
I can read and write pretty well. If you'll give me paper and pen, I'll write one out.
Zhugui
You don't
laughed.
understand, arms instructor. We demand a membership certificate from any bold man who wants to join our band. That means you have to go down the mountain, kill a man, and bring us his head to prove yourself. That's what we call a membership certificate.
That won't be hard. I'll go down and wait. I'm only afraid that no one will come along.
I'll give you 3 days, said Wang Lun. If you bring me the membership of certificate in that time, we'll accept you. If you don't, you'll have to excuse us. Lin Chong agreed to the chieftain's terms. After the meeting, Zhugui went down the mountain and returned to his wine shop. Lin Chong took his weapons and luggage and followed one of the bandits to the guest house where he spent the night. He rose early the next morning. After breakfast, he tied on his sword, picked up his halberd, and had one of the bandits lead him down the mountain. They crossed the lake in a boat and chose a scheduled place beside the path to wait for travelers. All day they waited, but by the dusk not a single traveler had come their way. Lin Chong gloomily again crossed the water with the bandit and returned to the stronghold. Have you got your membership certificate? Wang Lun asked.
No,
Said Lin.
no one came today.
If you don't bring one tomorrow, your chances of staying here are slim. Lin Chong didn't reply. He went unhappy to his room, had something to eat, and retired for the night. The next day, he got up as the sky was turning light, breakfasted with the bandit, took his weapon, and proceeded down the trail. Let's try the path on the south side of the mountain today, the bandit suggested. They crossed the lake and waited in the forest. No one appeared until noon, when a band of over 300 began marching by. Lin didn't dare move. He just watched them go. Hours passed and the shadows lengthened, but there were no more travelers.
What a miserable luck!
Lin said to the bandit.
2 whole days, and we haven't seen a single man traveling alone. What am I going to do?
Don't worry, brother. The bandit consoled him. Tomorrow's another day. I'll take you to wait by the eastern trail. Again, they crossed back to the stronghold. Your membership certificate? Asked Wang Lun. Lin Chong could only sigh. The bandit chieftain laughed. So you failed again. I gave you 3 days. 2 of them have already gone. If you don't get one tomorrow, there's no need for us to meet again. Just stroll down the mountain and find another place to stay. Lin returned to his room, very depressed.
Who would have thought that scoundrel Gao Chu would have hurt me so badly?
He sighed.
I've ended up here in my wanderings, unfavored by both heaven and earth. What a wretched fate!
So passed the night. He rose the following morning. At daybreak, had a bite to eat, tied up his pack, and put it in a corner of the room. Then attached his sword, took his halberd, and went down the mountain with his bandit companion and ferried across the road on the eastern side.
If I don't get a membership certificate today, I'll have to seek another place of refuge,
said Lin. The two concealed themselves in a grove beside the eastern path. No one had come by the time the sun was directly overhead. The last remnant of snow clouds had been swept away, and the sky was a brilliant blue.
It seems I'm out of luck again,
said Lin.
I might as well go back while it's still early, pick up my luggage, and start looking for another place.
Over there, the bandit said softly, pointing. Someone's coming.
At last!
Lin exclaimed. He saw a man walking towards them in the distance along the foot of the mountain. When he came close, Lin leaped out and flourished his halberd.
Hiya!
Exclaimed the man. He cast down his laden carrying pole, turned and fled. Lin gave a chase, but the fellow was much too fast. He quickly vanished behind a rise.
Do you ever see such luck?
Lin fumed.
3 days I waited, and when one finally comes, I let him get away. Although he didn't kill anyone, the stuff he's left here ought to earn you some more time,
Said the bandit.
Take it up the mountain. I'll wait here a bit longer.
Not long after the bandit had departed with the carrying pole and its load, Lin saw a big fellow coming around the bend.
Heaven is merciful.
He murmured. The man carried a halberd, and he was in a raging fury.
Filthy rogues!
He bellowed.
Where have you taken my luggage? Wait till I catch you, varlets! I'll teach you to tweak the tiger's whiskers!
In great bounds, he came flying down the trail. Lin Chung strode forward to meet him. Because this man battled Lin Chung, a wind of stirring white-browed tiger was added to Liangshan Marsh, and several golden-eyed chasm-leaping wild beasts joined the water-grit stronghold. Who was the man Lin Chung fought? Read our next chapter if you would know.